In a time where all podcasts are the same, two guys have decided that enough is enough. This is the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 3/4 of the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen. You guys did an episode last week. How did that go? It was just the two of you?
It's a little rocky on my part, you know. It was bizarre talking into the camera, you know, to myself, but then Sean did a fantastic job of filling the void. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw any of it.
Of course not.
He put up a silhouette, so whenever he talked, a silhouette came up, which I thought was very clever.
That's cool. Did it give you more respect for a guy like Colin Cowherd, who just kind of runs his own show and just talks by himself the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's something that you could easily get used to. Mm-hmm. But this is just our dynamic is built off of.
It's a beautiful dynamic.
So, yeah, I mean, as we continued on, it got a little easier and felt a little more comfortable. But yeah, it was tough.
Well, don't get used to it because Big Daddy's feet are back in the stirrups.
Good. I don't want to get used to it.
Back in the stirrups. I had COVID.
Yeah.
I finally got COVID.
I told everybody we lost you in a cornfield on the Eastern Shore. That was what I was going with.
Well, that's believable. Highly believable.
Right.
But no, I did contract COVID. Actually, we got the shows in. My wife had come home with it. She's a teacher. She came home from school on a Friday. I went to the shows. I took care of her all weekend. And then Monday I started feeling pretty rough. Both of us had gone the full 2 years of the, the lockdown and everything without ever getting it. And then at the tail end of things, we both ended up with it. So it felt like I had ice picks behind my eyes. It was the worst part was the eye pain. It looks like the worst part was the
horrible eye pain.
The pain in
maybe
my eyes.
It was the dicks that you had jammed in there. Maybe
so I was out of work a couple of days last week. I was very sleepy, but I knew I needed my rest, Eric. I knew I needed my rest because there was no way that I was missing Comedymania 3.
Yeah. The big one.
And boy, was it an extravaganza.
It was.
We had Ryan McBride, the king of Maryland wrestling, the champion of Maryland Championship Wrestling, MCW there.
Yeah.
He came out.
He's returned many a time.
He has.
He keeps coming back. He has so much fun.
Well, he came out to kick the show off, and then Eric Woodworth and I, we played the heels. We came out. I was a character that night named Stanislav, the Russian Cowboy.
Yeah.
I figured it would go with the classic 1980s fuck Russia theme, you classic like Rocky IV.
Right.
Eric was an American cowboy who had converted to communism. Yeah. So we came out,
and he was the champion from Comedymania 2.
He was.
So he was the defending champion belt holder.
So we came out, talked some shit to Ryan McBride. McBride hemmed me up. He almost put me in the DVD, the Death Valley Driver, which he gave me one later that night. So I was like, hey, should we practice it? And he's like, you want to do it now? And I was like, yeah, does it hurt? And he's like, oh, no, it's totally fine. Everything's cool. So he throws me up on his fucking shoulders, right? Like, I'm like a baby doll hanging there. And I think
Sean's going to put that. Sean, are you able to put that back here for the?
This was I was talking about the practice.
Right.
This was
I know.
Before we did this one, because I have something to say before we do this one.
Right.
He goes, no, it's not going to hurt. And he puts me up on his shoulders and he does like this giant jump in the air roll thing.
It's like a cartwheel type. Yeah, it's crazy.
Slams me down and the ring has zero give. It's like all wood and metal underneath. It's all old.
It's metal framing with, 2x10s with this shitty little mat on top.
He slams me into the ground before the show, right? And I'm just laying there like, right? And I get up and I'm like trying so hard not to be a pussy, but like my whole fucking it was hard to walk. Like it felt like I had a pinched nerve.
How much do you think Ryan weighs?
I don't know. He's probably 180, 190 pounds.
He's a stout fella, yeah. I'm gonna go with about 190.
So I'm like wincing, right? Around backstage. People are like, are you alright? Like I was like, I'm gonna be fine. Everything's fine, right? And so I'm trying to drink more. One of the comics there was a lovely, had 800 200 milligram ibuprofen.
We were all hopped up on
it was like the prescription grade. Their dad had a back thing. So I had that and like some drinks and stuff. And towards the end of the show, I was feeling right as the mail. I was good to go.
Yeah, you were.
And so then he pulls me aside.
Well,
and he
hold on. Before you get to that, it was really funny because I was running around setting up and coordinating and doing all that bullshit. And you come up to me and you were kind of leaning over like Granny. And you're like, man, did you see that? Did you just see that? And I'm like, see what? And you were like, Ryan, he just threw me up on his shoulders and did this move to me. And I was like, wait, he did the
DVD?
I was like, wait, he did the Death Valley Driver on you? And you were like, that's what it's called?
Yeah,
and I was like,
if I know this was
you were like, fuck me, all right. And I was like, I missed it.
Well, I didn't know that was the name of it, and I probably wouldn't have agreed to it. Wait, so we're getting ready to go do that. We can backtrack to some other things. I just want to tell you how it ended, right? We're getting ready to go out and do the move and the end of the show or whatever, right? And he turns to me and he goes, listen, we're going to go a little higher for the audience, right? I'm like, oh, cool, great, fuck, right?
Oh, boy.
And I was like, my hip hurt, and people were like, well, you don't have to do it again if you don't want to. I was like, well, I'm not going to fucking just like, I have to do it because nobody saw it the last time. Like, if I'm going to fucking do it. Like, I'm already in pain.
He also asked you if you just wanted to do it once, and you're like, well, no, we should practice it. We should rehearse this. And you're like, I should have just went with the one.
Should have just went with the one. Well, I knew what I was in for. So he does the move and it was fucking devastating and it really hurt. And so, but I played it up. You got to do the sell. It's what's called the sell in pro wrestling. So I was laying there. Wendy.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy thought I was legit hurt, which is the greatest compliment to a pro wrestler, right?
Yeah. But she almost got hurt coming.
She came running into the ring like Miss Elizabeth coming to help Macho Man, right? And she's like, Stefan!
And she steps
she's in like
between
heels.
the stage and the fucking thing,
So
and her leg goes right.
Eats it, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
the ring.
shit.
Wendy comes in, she's pulling me out, right? She pulls me, and I'm James Brown in it, right? I'm like, oh, I'm like, Wendy, I can't feel my legs. And she's like in tears, right?
And he's got like the 10-yard gaze, like he's all like.
She takes me finally behind the curtain.
She looks at me, she goes, he's really hurt. And I'm like, really?
She takes me behind the curtain. And then you told me, I look up and I turn back and I was like, did it look good? Wendy was like, what?
And I lost because I was behind both of them.
She like hit me. She was in tears. So I know Wendy really does love me. She ran to my age.
She ran to your age. She thought you were really hurt.
But so the next morning I woke up and I could not get out of bed. All the booze and the painkillers wore off. And the second time I hardly even felt it because I was just kind of fucked up. It was the last couple days. I've been hobbling around like I'm 60 years old. Like, oh God, like I get up and I'm like, anyway.
But he did the same thing to Woodworth, what do you think Woodworth weighs? About 300?
Good 300 to 340 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's about 6'1", 6'2". He's about as tall as me. He did it to him after you, and wow, that was
tune in next year for Comedymania 4. It was comedy and wrestling throughout the night.
Yeah.
We did our songs. I thought they went real well. One of the bartenders pulled me aside. I thought this was a great compliment. He was like, "Dude," he was like, "You were really singing up there." He's like, "Some of that was like really good." And I was like, "That's the best part." He looked musician-y too. So it made me feel like, I'm one of the.
It's the real deal. I mean, Jesus, they're your own songs that you've written and composed them.
They're my own songs about getting fucked in the ass by a chick.
Right. Or
getting pegged.
Or proposing.
Or proposing in a Walmart.
And then you got your
wholesome American songs.
And you got your backup saxist. You have somebody acting out things on stage.
It's spectacular.
It's quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
And I think we hit a home run on that performance.
I was very thrilled with Comedymania. By the way, I watched the video and then we'd probably have just put it up if people have seen it. If you can hear the audio, Eric, there's some dickhead in the crowd after I get slammed down. There's one guy going, "One more time! One more time!"
One more time! One more time!
I would have fucking killed that guy. I couldn't move. Like, I would have taken another one of those for all Teen China. It's called a Death Valley Driver.
And he literally does a somersault with you on his shoulders and just lands on top of you. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
I was in the back recording because I was like, I'm not going to miss this again. Mm-hmm. I got to get this for Stefan and, you know, for my own entertainment purposes.
Of course.
And I was like in the back of the theater recording this, and I'm just back there enjoying myself. You know, I've been running my ass off for, you know, about 6-7 hours at that point.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, Justin was doing his finishing move on Woodworth, and you were laying there, and he's like, if we could get a referee in here to count this out. I was like, oh shit, that's me.
So you had to,
I had to like run down through the theater.
Man of many hats.
Slid onto the stage, and he's like balls on his face. He's like, are you going to count him out? I was like, yeah. Like lay down.
Hey,
look,
bam,
bam.
When Vince McMahon was getting things started, he was the announcer and he was the manager and he was, you know, he's an actual, he ended up being a wrestler later. We're going to wear many hats as we get our fucking wrestling league off the ground.
It's nuts. It's good time.
Oh God. Well, next year,
Comedymania 4.
Next year I'm doing the hardcore match. I've already talked to Justin about it. We're going crazy.
Well, if I could get you all fucking a little more organized, we could actually probably prep for something a little more ornate.
I agree.
Versus, you know, the 20 minutes before the show.
Eric, don't show people behind the curtain. That's not how showbiz works. We planned that routine for months and months before that, Eric.
I think it's
we want people to pay to come see this.
I think it's actually more impressive that we did what we did with as little preparation.
I think Ryan McBride was high on cocaine. He slammed me so hard. Oh,
by the way, he hit his head on the same spot that I hit my head.
Eric Christ.
And he was like, he got a cut because there was a nail sticking out.
That's how he got the cut on his head?
That's how because he hit his head on the same fucking spot.
Did he cry about it and go to the chiropractor the next day?
No, he's way fucking harder than I am. I mean, my God.
I couldn't walk. Listen to me. Who am I to throw stones? I still can't walk.
By the way, I'll give you the number to my chiropractor. It's right down the street.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we'll do Comedymania again next year. Hey, I wanted to point something out to you guys. End of an era that I read about. Did you know in the last week, New York City just removed their last public payphone?
Wow, the cash cow has ended.
Isn't that mind-blowing? Think about that. You just growing up, all the movies that you saw, or just how often a phone in New York City has, like, remember that Die Hard with Bruce Willis with Samuel L. Jackson where they're calling, they're going all the payphones?
Yeah.
Like there was a whole fucking movie
about running around and using payphones.
That. They're gone. I mean, it was just such a staple. It just makes me feel a little bit old.
Yeah.
It literally
was, by definition, a cash cow for what is it? Bell Atlantic, Ma Bell, whatever.
Sure.
Like, that was because they just had to. All they had to do is put up a phone in the system. Didn't cost them anything, and then they just.
New York City to me is just that so big and sprawling, and just again, it feels weird to think that. Just think about New York and think there's no payphones anywhere in that city anymore. That's a weird thought.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is. It is the end of an era.
Only as old as you feel, and if that's the truth, well, then I died 6 years ago.
Yeah. How's your back?
My back's getting there.
I'm just glad it's not my back this time.
You've got some other things going on. What's wrong now,
yeah.
Eric? What's your health issue this week?
It's a holiday weekend coming up.
Yeah, how are you going to spend it? Hopefully outside,
I'm
enjoying yourself?
gonna have to fucking be hemmed up, laying down.
What is the name of this surgery?
It's called Turbinate reduction.
Turbinate?
Turbinate.
Is there a chance it kills you?
I mean, they're going to have to put me under. So I did get a pre-op physical they had to check the old ticker to make sure,
check the titties. You're like, check the old
titties, the old ticker. And, and the doctor was like, yeah, we just got to make sure your heart's, we'll make sure you wake up. And I'm like, that'd be nice.
Eric, question of the day, before we get too deep into this, what is turbinate reduction surgery?
So in your sinuses, you have, it's like these like ridges in the doctor.
I used to, before years of cocaine abuse, I too had ridges.
And the doctor referred to them, he said, they're like sausages up there. I'm like, great, I got sausages in my face.
Eric, Dick knows Eric.
And he said basically mine have very, very, a small amount of space in between. So the slightest amount of like inflammation and I can't breathe.
What is this snake oil salesman? That you have slits in your nose, like an amphibian? And what I'm going to do, you're going to pay me.
They are.
And I'm going to close up your slits.
They're not much different than Kevin Costner's Waterworld gills behind his ears.
So he's filling in the gaps in your slits?
No. He's going to go in and laser them and make them so that the space gets bigger so that I can breathe.
So you have trouble breathing out of your nose?
I do. I do.
Okay.
And it's particularly, it's as soon as you got to lay down or when I lay down, boom.
How invasive is this? They have to take your nose off?
No. Well, I found out they used to have to cut up under your lip and go in and do it.
You look like one of the characters from Wrong Turn. Can you keep doing that while we're talking?
This,
Yeah.
They had to cut it up in there, and then they would go in, they'd open up, roll it back, and then you could literally see inside your freaking sinuses and do it.
Man.
But with technology and modern health care, they can just go in endoscopically, go up your nose, and just with little basically cauterizing.
Don't you have to be what's with the age when you start getting endoscopies up your ass?
That's coming real soon for me.
The colonoscopy.
I'm past 40. So.
Why don't you get it while you're having your nose done? You just have all
maybe
your
they
holes.
could just they can meet in the middle and
just
wave at each
Eiffel
other.
Tower you. The two fucking surgeons will high five each other while they're touching their tips of their instruments.
Oh boy,
man!
So I it sucks. I would have preferred to have done this a few weeks ago.
What's the recovery time for turbinate reduction surgery?
So they say that for a few days I'm pretty much going to be down, but it's a 2-week recovery is the full time. I can't lift more than 10 pounds for 2 fucking weeks.
You're brave. I haven't been able to literally probably breathe out of my nose consistently since 2001 or 2002.
Yeah,
I think I have a deviated septum. Truth be told, I really have done a lot of cocaine over the years. Not so much anymore.
I've never touched the stuff.
No, you haven't actually, but there was an era there where it was a lot. And I was bartending. Anyway, I digress. It fucked my nose up pretty badly. I'm terrified.
You should get turbinate reduction.
No. I'm terrified to go to any sort of nose doctor. They're going to break my nose in 6 places. It's already a huge honking schnoz.
One more time. One more time.
Well, good luck during your Turbinate.
Yeah, so the holiday I'm going to not be doing anything. Here's the part I wanted to bitch about. So they literally gave me 2 days out of the month to do it. And I'm not going to fucking do this as we get into the summer because it's the fucking summer of Eric, God damn it.
What's that mean?
That was a George Costanza reference.
I mean, I know, but
summer
you're not
George.
single. What's the summer of Eric consist of? You and the kids at the pool?
It's something. Well, yeah, that's actually quite a lot of fun.
Couldn't you do that with a cast on your nose?
I wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago. And my wife had her sister's birthday party she was planning and all this stuff.
It's your wife's fault.
She's like, I can't take care of you on top of all this. You got to do it basically the day before a holiday weekend. And I'm like, okay. So then I find out she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be going to the pool and stuff this week. And I'm like, cool, thanks. I feel real fucking important. So
sounds good. I would just get a bag of morphine, kick your legs up.
Get some of that 800 milligram ibuprofen.
Yeah, you got a good excuse. What are they going to give you? I'm sure they'll give you fucking good stuff, Percocets or... Yeah,
we'll find out. Yeah,
a couple of beers, 3 Percocets. Yeah. You're not going to care where you are. It's going to be great.
I'll be like, please go to the pool.
Yeah, in your mind, you'll be in Jackson Hole, Indiana, or where the fuck you were. In Montana.
Hey, Whistler, Canada, eh? So, yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what we're watching, Eric.
All right,
let's talk about it. It's been a few weeks. We've had some things to catch up on. You listed the Johnny Depp Amber Heard movie.
Yeah,
is there a fictionalized movie about the trial coming?
It's basically a fucking movie. I mean, what we're watching is essentially a movie.
I thought you were saying that there has been a made-for-TV movie.
No, I mean,
which I have a question for you after you're going to say this.
Have you seen the latest expert witness?
I did see the guy who said. Wait, he goes, that's good to talk about because Johnny's lawyer, the guy goes, he supposedly psychoanalyzed Johnny Depp based on, he's never talked to him. It was based on interviews.
Never done an actual examination.
Yeah, it was based on interviews that he saw Johnny Depp do.
Yeah.
And then Johnny
and
Depp's lawyer,
movies, acting.
Johnny Depp's lawyer goes, are you aware of the craft of acting? And he goes,
No.
People have to rehearse and that it's scripted. And the guy goes, I don't know anything about acting. I don't know anything. The guy goes, well, you do know actors rehearse, correct? And he looks at the judge like, I don't know anything.
Do I have to answer that question?
And the guy goes, let me ask you this. Did you also see Mr. Depp and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or whatever the fuck it was?
He's just like
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And the guy looks at the judge like, do I have to answer this? He goes, you have to answer the questions.
Yeah. Like,
and he goes, well, no, I didn't. And the guy was basically just like, yeah, you've never fucking talked to the guy. He's a movie star. I don't care if you watched him in an interview. He's probably still acting. It's all such hearsay.
Well, and that was the thing
it's
too.
A circus.
Is he said he before that he was like, so you've psychoanalyzed and analyzed him, comparing him to a pirate. So
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
He's like, and he goes, no. He goes, he pulls up a document. He says, it says right here that you analyzed him based off of his character role as a pirate. He's like, yes, I did that, and I'd like to apologize. That was a mistake, and it's just
Eric. I never thought in my entire adult life I would watch a trial on TV, like a real trial, where a real question a lawyer asked somebody was, and did you watch Mr. Depp in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Mr. Willy Wonka.
And it was a real question.
It was. He didn't even know how to answer it.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Now, let's say there is a made for TV, or just a movie that comes out. They did the one on Joe Exotic.
Who's going to play as
who plays Johnny Depp and who plays Amber Heard?
I mean, he's got to play himself.
No, that can't happen. You've got to cast actors in these roles. Who would you pick?
Christopher Walken would probably.
Walken. He's so old.
They could CGI
shit in my bed. I come home after a long day on the set of The Deer Hunter.
Oh man, the other one would be maybe Jeff Goldblum. Possibly, he's kind of older too, but he would be pretty.
Well, she shit in my bed.
She left a grumpy
life. Finds a way.
I recently saw a meme of him in Jurassic Park looking at that pile of dinosaur shit and it made a reference to her shit.
Oh God. I would put a series. I think I'd do Jason Momoa as Johnny Depp. I think he could pull that off. They kind of look similar. They got the cool surfer vibe.
Yeah, he's fucking ginormous.
Yeah, but he's also had some experience with Amber Heard on the set of Aquaman.
Yeah.
And then for Amber Heard, you could cast that dinosaur that took that huge shit in Jurassic Park.
Oh, man, it's a shit show.
They're like a Blake Lively in the role of Amber Heard. Blake Lively from The Shallows.
Yeah, they're both so unique in their own special way that I just don't even know how they could pull that off. Maybe the chick from Ozarks, Ruth, I don't remember the actress's name. She could play a good Amber Heard.
She could play a good bed shitter.
They'd have to straighten her really curly.
What about Kathy Bates? Just get a real unhinged fucking actress. Kathy Bates from Misery.
Oh man.
My penguin always faces due north.
I mean, that's a level of psychosis there.
Let's talk funny. You started watching Arrested Development.
Yeah, I've been wanting to kick this series off for quite some time.
We just finished it, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had tried to get into it years ago, and just for some reason couldn't.
You love Bateman. You'll love Arrested Development.
But it probably took 3 or 4 episodes. Not that it was hard. It just took.
Yeah.
Now that I'm almost done the first season, and I'm so into the characters now.
It gets better and better.
That it's just I was seeing the humor, it was funny, but now that I'm understanding who all the roles are, it's just
they had to find their legs too. If you ever go back and watch the first season of Seinfeld, it's really not that funny.
It's really not. Yeah,
once they kind of found their voices and they've hit their stride,
it's really, really, really funny.
Yeah, Arrested Development's great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, She-Hulk. You saw the preview for She-Hulk.
Yeah, that looks fucking terrible. It was uncomfortable to watch the fucking trailer.
You're not hyped for She-Hulk.
No, not at all.
No. You don't like female superheroes. That's what I'm hearing.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I dislike when they remake a non-female superhero into a female.
She's in the comics.
They don't ever.
She's an established character.
That
She-Hulk
really that
comics,
established.
Yeah, She-Hulk's been around for years.
Yeah, I don't know about. I wouldn't go as far as saying.
A lot of people are very excited for this character.
It looks like it's going to be garbage.
You think it looks like dog shit? You think they've jumped the shark?
Like, you don't see them do the other way around. You don't see men recreating a female super. You don't see Mr. Wonder Man.
Yeah, that's right. It's a man's game. Yeah. Tell Spider-Woman, too, to fuck off. Tell Batgirl that she can suck it.
No, I'm not saying
that's right. Tell Wonder Woman, get on your knees and pray.
Look, you've got, what is it? Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Brie Larson, you hate her.
I think she did a decent job in that. That's a good character.
That was that was a male character first.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Captain Marvel was a male character. That's female appropriated. It's another one, Eric.
God damn it! Who's the other one that I'm a big
Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy,
no,
Supergirl. You hate Supergirl.
No, stop it. The Black Widow.
Oh, Jesus, Eric, don't make it racial. You're digging your hole deeper.
You say the best way to get out of the hole is set the shovel down, so I'm going to go and shut the shovel down.
She-Hulk don't look great. Hey, you should watch Moon Knight.
I'm definitely, I got to get through. Yeah. I got to get through The Last Kingdom. I'm on the last season.
Okay.
I'm one episode in.
Well, Moon Knight's only six
wild.
episodes. You know those Marvel ones are short.
No, I know. Short. But I got to get through this fucking Last
Did you ever watch Loki?
No.
Oh, Loki's the best one.
Like, dude, after I did that whole marathon, I had to, set it down for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be back. I'm going to come back to the Marvel Universe. Don't worry.
Should.
Don't worry. Better Call Saul. Are you caught up to speed on?
Of course I am. I kept telling you how good it is, and you need to watch it.
No, I know, but are you up to date? I mean, are you?
I didn't watch last night's episode yet.
Holy fucking shit, man!
Are you talking about last night's episode?
I guess. I don't know. I think we watched the last.
When did you most recently watch an episode? That comes out Monday nights.
Oh, we watched 2 episodes, or 1 last night, 2 last night.
I don't know. I know that I saw the death of the character that you were talking about.
Okay,
that was 2 episodes ago, I think. The guy who Lalo was after, who was coming back from Mexico, who walked through the desert. I haven't said any names. That's why I've been very vague. It could be. Have you seen
so vague? I don't even know what he's talking about.
Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? I just said a character who was walking through Mexico. It could be literally. Yeah, Lalo. He said who Lalo was after him. Yeah, Lalo was after a lot of people.
I saw somebody get offed that I did not see coming.
Oh, baby. Well, I know it can't be certain people because they show up in Breaking Bad.
I don't think he shows up in Breaking Bad.
Well, Eric.
It was like my jaw. I was like,
yeah,
no, it wasn't like a character that you love, but you kind of fucking just feel bad for them.
That's every character in the show.
Well, this one is in particular.
They're all anti-heroes.
My God, I don't want to ruin this, but whoo-wee.
All right.
It literally was just like, go.
No, I haven't seen it yet then, probably.
Yeah, I think
I'll watch last night's tonight. Sunday, and I didn't have a chance to watch it last night.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode number it is.
What race is the guy that died?
Caucasian.
Oh, no! That wasn't the guy. You've spoiled so much. I hate you.
No, you're not going to know. You're not going to see
I already know who it is.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
All right, fine.
No, you don't.
I probably do know.
No, trust me, I did not see it fucking coming.
God. All right, next big question. Did you watch Power of the Dog?
I have not.
Yeah, I gave you 2 weeks to watch this slow-ass Benedict Cumberbatch movie that only gets good in the last 5 minutes.
I know.
Get your opinion.
You didn't really convince me to want to dive into that.
By the time I watched the end of it, I said, I want to watch it again.
Here's the good news. I am literally going to do fucking nothing all weekend, so I will have all of the time on the face of the planet to watch all of these things.
Eric, did you watch The Batman?
I haven't. Same thing. Dude, it's fucking 4 hours long.
I even wore my Joker shirt to talk to you about it tonight. Okay, I wore it. It's on HBO Max. There's no excuses. I told you how good it is, and you just sit there and you tell me you're watching Arrested Development. You're watching 6 seasons of Arrested Development. Oh, I'm sorry. And your fucking Jason Bateman jerk-off marathon. You couldn't take a fucking hour and a half out of your busy goddamn schedule to watch somebody else?
It's more Portia. She's the one that I'm jerking
Eric's
off
like, well, I'm rewatching Ozark because there's 4 episodes in the first season, which Jesus Christ, watch the movies that I told you to watch so we can talk about them on our fucking podcast.
Look, this weekend,
you amateur.
It will happen. This weekend, it'll happen.
I went and saw, speaking of the Marvel Universe, I went and saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Did you ever see the old Evil Dead movies with Bruce Campbell?
Yeah.
All right, well, the guy that directed those, Sam Raimi, directed Multiverse of Madness. And the best way I can describe this is that he somehow got away with making like an Evil Dead movie in the Marvel Universe.
Nice.
It's Sam Raimi all over it.
It's just kind of like slapstick.
A little bit. It's just horror. It's like there's like body horror and like witches and zombies and like I'm
excited for it.
It's like the first true horror movie in the MCU. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Cumberbatch was good. They jumped to some other universes. There's some really cool cameos that I don't want to spoil for you.
Yeah.
And some fan castings that paid off. There's some good shit. So I'd put it at a 9, Eric. I'd say it's probably the best of the new phase. The Spider-Man movie was awesome, with the new one with all the Spider-Mans in it. And that was neat. But I think this is a better overall movie. It's hard to top what Spider-Man did because they pulled in all these other characters and tied in these other movies.
I think Doctor Strange was very, very, very underrated, and I didn't look forward to that movie at all. Yeah. And then it ended up being probably top 1 or 2 in the Marvel.
We rewatched Doctor Strange the night before we went to see the new one, and I forgot it was actually really good.
It's such a good fucking movie.
I didn't realize how good it was. It's also better with like he's kind of Iron Man-ish, like he's like a cocky rich guy.
Yeah.
And I think back then it was fairly close to Iron Man, but not having Tony and Iron Man around for a while now, and then going back, it was really good. And the What Ifs on is it HBO or Disney? The What If series is another thing you need to be watching. It's all 30-minute cartoons about the multiverse and like what if things happen slightly different. So it would be like, what if Peggy Carter became Captain America instead of Steve Rogers? What if Ultron won? What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands and he tried to bring his wife back to life instead of trying to become Sorcerer Supreme? All kinds of fun stories.
What if Vision sat around all night with Johnny Depp doing cocaine and talking about setting Amber Heard on fire? Now, what would that be like in the metaverse?
That's episode 4 of What If. Tune in. It's on Disney+. And then something I need you to watch for me. I just finished it up.
Okay.
And you'll love it because you'll liken it to our comedy journey.
Okay.
Because it's about a guy building something from nothing.
Okay.
I just watched Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty on HBO.
Even though I hate NBA.
Doesn't matter. It's not really about that.
Okay. All right.
The premise behind
this is on Netflix?
No, it's on HBO.
Okay.
John C. Reilly.
Oh yeah.
Plays Jerry Buss, the guy that
I love
Johnson. Adam McKay directs it. Adam McKay did Talladega Nights and Step Brothers, and John C. Reilly knocks it out.
Is he the one that walks up to the fucking what is that? The where they're in the holy shit, I'm an idiot right now. Old School. Where he walks out, he's like, I'm here for the gangbang.
I think it is. And
he's the one that sucks on her toes on the bus in Road Trip.
He might be. I don't know what he looks
got that like.
He's the director.
He's like tall, skinny guy with glasses. Looks pretty creepy.
Sounds likely.
Yeah,
sounds likely.
Kind of got the permanent like curly hair.
So the show is about like when they take Magic Johnson.
Jufro.
They take Magic Johnson, right? And the Lakers weren't good and hadn't been good for like a really long time. Jerry Buss is like in over his head. He's borrowing money from banks. He's robbing Peter to pay Paul, just trying to keep things afloat. But he's like,
sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he's like, it's got to be the best. We need this. We need to differentiate. It's all about how he basically built it up and made it into like the ritz and glitz that it is today.
Okay,
but it's kind of like a Wolf of Wall Street-y movie or series like that, where it's like sex, drugs, and rock and roll behind the scenes. It's fucking awesome.
So when we get big and where we're trying to get to, who's going to play us in the
I'll be played by Nick Kroll.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll be played by the guy that plays Newman on Seinfeld. You're going to be fatter by the time it's all happening.
I was going more for a Nicolas Cage approach.
No, we can't give you somebody that chiseled. We need to be a bit of a putz. Jack Black, maybe. Jack Black can play you.
All right. I'd settle for Jack Black.
Yeah, we need you to be a little more putsy. Putz. Anyway, you would just watch one episode.
Okay.
They're an hour long.
Like I said, this is a great list for me going into this 3-day holiday weekend.
Sunday and I watched it together, and Sunday was hooked. And she likes NBA basketball, but Jesse and Christine watched it. Christine's never even seen an NBA game. She was hooked. She watched the whole thing.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
All right.
One cool thing I wanted to tell you about it was Will Ferrell wanted the role of Jerry Buss, like the lead role. And Adam McKay didn't give it to him, and he cast John C. Reilly, and now Will Ferrell and Adam McKay don't talk to each other. There's this huge fallout over it.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. Originally, the person that was cast in the role of Jerry Buss was Michael Shannon, who played Zod in Man of Steel.
Michael Shannon.
Did you ever see the Man of Steel with Henry Cavill?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. Well, you can look up who Michael Shannon is. He's this really intense actor. But in the show, Jerry Buss or John C. Reilly like breaks the fourth wall and like talks to the audience. And Michael Shannon said he just couldn't.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
He's just like really intense. Yeah. He said he couldn't get down with it. Like he said it was too much immersion, like breaking for him. So he left the role. John C. Reilly ends up taking it. I couldn't picture anybody else in it. I mean, when I tell you he knocks it out of the park.
I mean, he's an amazing actor.
Dude, he's so good in this role. I can't believe he was the second choice, I guess is what I'm saying. He even looks like the guy. Look up Jerry.
Yeah, no, I've seen the like ads for it on my Fire Stick and whatnot. So.
Well, I think that's a good transition into the wild, wild world of sports. Marv?
Jump shots. Goals. Running. Balls. Defense. Champions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marv Albert, and welcome to another edition of Staffless Sports.
Thank you.
And now, sports scores from around the league. Last night, the Coupon, Pennsylvania Cheap Housewives lost to the Gay Georgia Homosexual Republicans 210-143. Allen Assless Chaps Anderson with the big game in that one, slinging 172 points for the homos. The Cheap Housewives are already looking to next season, where they hope to find better value in the draft. There, they can cash in their tickets for the league's next top superstar and projected number 1 overall pick, Stuart Sluthands Sipowicz from the University of Islamabad. And in our game of the week, the Jackpot Nevada One-Armed Bandits took on the Big Bottom Wisconsin Fat Fannies in an up-and-down contest. In the end, the One-Armed Bandits prevailed, slapping the Fat Fannies all the way to Big Bottom. Final score 152-137. The star of the game was Bandits midi Jerry Three Cherries Chuminga, as he hit time after time for the jackpot with 52 points. Big Bottom will welcome their Fat Fannies home this weekend, where they can finally park it and take a load off as they begin a 3-game homestand.
I do like a nice bottom.
And those are scores from around the league. In real sports news, Eric, have you heard about the former NFL and current Calgary and current Calgary Stampeders linebacker? Oh no, it's the wrong clip. So basically what happened is, Eric, there's a guy that plays for the Calgary Stampeders. I forgot his name and I linked it to the wrong one.
Yeah, that's not even the right link.
So it doesn't really matter who he is or what his name is. What happens? Well, he gets in an argument with a airline employee. There's a whole video, viral video that's gone for like millions and millions of views. He squares up and fights like the baggage guy, like the guy when you get your ticket when you first walk into like American Airlines and you're like checking your bag and they print your ticket out for you if you still need that to be done. So they get jawing back and forth. And he's just fucking ends up swinging on this guy, knocking the shit out of him. And the guy goes like tumbling down over the bags. And then the guy gets up. He's like this kind of heavy set Hispanic guy. And he like gets back in this guy's like a pro athlete, this other dude. He gets back in his face. And the guy's like, you want some more? You want some more? And just like kind of pushes him off. But so evidently, you know, he's going to get suspended from the league and there's going to be criminal charges filed. I guess how many times have you wanted to just hit an airline employee? That's what the video seems to indicate. Is he maybe swung on him or pushed him or something? Yeah, airline guy.
So the airline guy took a first poke.
I mean, either way, I think it's a hilarious story.
Would have been great if he tumbled down and then fell on the conveyor belt and it like took him back. Baggage check. Yeah, you can't do that though. You just can't. You can't take a swing at your customers, even though sometimes. Yeah, your other link is you just
none of my links work. The other thing
it's the same link for everything.
The other thing I wanted to tell you is that
Control V is the paste.
It was supposed to tie into a sports story because there's like this grand balloon thing that they do in Sweden every year. But there is a global helium shortage.
Oh God, there's a shortage of something.
There's a helium shortage.
How the fuck is there a helium shortage?
I don't know, Eric. I can't.
It's a fucking element on the chart. On the element, the whatever the fucking elemental chart is.
I'm trying to think, like, is there just the hot air balloon business has been a booming since COVID has wrapped up? How is there a fucking helium?
They don't even put helium in a hot air balloon. It's just hot air.
What do you use helium for? What is... other than making
I'm sure there's some. It's a raw material for something, but I mean, helium is in the fucking air,
like petroleum or gas. Or oil. I understand these are finite resources that get used in vehicles and things like that. I guess helium's finite as well. I just don't understand who's gobbling up all the helium.
They've made balloons illegal in Baltimore.
Russia's probably working on some super weapon. They're gobbling up all the world's helium.
Yeah, it's going to be like a bio warfare. We're all going to be walking around talking like this.
Oh God,
it'll be good times.
Well, that was supposed to have a sports tie-in.
Caused by an unplanned mid-January shutdown of the Cliffside Crude Helium Enrichment Plant.
Oh man, that's too bad.
Gas reservoir, man.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including the gas reservoirs.
Tell you what, that is quite a gas problem there.
Yeah. Well, no birthday parties for any of the kids.
Fuck that.
God, can you imagine going to Party City and like you're like last minute, right? And you know you need fucking balloons for your wife is like, just get balloons, and you're supposed to get.
And you
them,
buy one of those little like party tanks that they end up in my garage.
You just go in there and say, hey, listen, I need you to fill up 50 balloons. I'll buy the balloons, and they're like, we can't do it. And
we're out
like,
of helium.
What do you mean you can't do it? And they're like, we're out of helium. And I'd be like going to McDonald's and they're like, we're out of fucking hamburgers.
Chicken nuggets.
You know, I'd be like, I want to speak to your manager right now.
What are you doing wrong? What do we got? Helium shortage. We're getting ready to have gas shortage, diesel shortage. What is it? The baby formula shortage.
Yeah.
Monkeypox, man. The whole fucking world's coming to an end, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think again there'd be a day when I would look at you and go, hey, we're out of helium.
This is the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.
Do it like that. Hello. Welcome to the place.